Hello, my name is Annie. I am the singer and music producer for my cover songs. So far, I have published 6 cover songs, and I have get the criticism from my musician friend asking me why my vocals are not polished. So today in this video, I'm going to discuss the issue about the autotune and the pitch correction that is widely adopted as the industry standard in the music production. So first, maybe we can discuss a little bit about the pitch standard. In the West, the A440 is a widely adopted pitch standard. Basically, on the piano, when you have the A4, it's tuned to the frequency which vibrates at 440 times per second, or like 440 hertz. That means when it's 1 octave lower, for instance, A3, it will be vibrates at 220 times per second or 220 hertz. So so basically this is just like one standard of pitch tuning, and in the music from all over the world, there are different standards of tuning. Okay, so anyways, then on the piano we have the notes, for instance, the whole step and half step, aka semitone. So when you have 2 white keys that doesn't have a black key in the middle, that is a half step or semitone. For instance, before the E and F, there is a semitone. And then if you have the black key between the white key, then from the white key to the next black key, like C and C sharp, that is also a semitone. So with this understanding, now we kind of divided from one semitone to the next semitone. We divided them into 100 parts based on their sound frequency. Then we have 100 cents. So when we're talking about the pitch accuracy, we are basically referring to whether the sound vibration is totally on the line exactly as the pitch standard, or they are moving away from this line. With this understanding, now we can discuss when we talk about the pitch accuracy of a singer, what are we referring to? So, for instance, for a song with a genre that actually require the pitch accuracy, for instance, the jazz or blues, they might not to require you to be on the pitch all the time because that's just is a specific style. But we're talking about the genre that requires the pitch accuracy. And let's say in a one take, within 90% of the time, if a singer, their pitch is within 10 cents difference from the absolute standard, we can call this singer is on the master level. If they are on 20 cents off, then maybe they are advanced singer. If they are 30 cents, maybe they're intermediate singer. If they are 40 cents, perhaps they're beginner singer. Of course, this is totally my own standard. I personally just don't know what is the standard to really judge whether a singer is good enough or not. Now we can discuss about what the autotune and the pitch correction software is doing. So to my limited understanding, autotune is a software that allows you to have some kind of maybe preset tones. I'm not sure absolutely, but it tries to judge like which notes you are close to, and then tend to snap the notes on the absolutely line. I guess that's why usually people associate the autotune vocal as a little bit robotic. And the autotune can be used both in the live performance and in the post-production. The other pitch correction software might function a little bit differently, and The most famous one is probably the Melodyne. This can be only used so far as I know in the post-production. So basically in the Melodyne, you will see the vocal fire and all the waves on certain line references. Then you can decide how accurate you want it to be, and you can change the vibrato point, and it can vibrate a little bit less and more looking like straight line, and you can move the notes up and down so to be like more accurate. So now understanding both this software and how they function, then when we talked about using the pitch correction on the vocal, basically if you're not a singer with a good pitch accuracy, using this both software can help you achieve that kind of accuracy that you normally are not able to achieve. Because human vocal cord is not attuned like the instrument, so it's not attuned to certain standard. So when humans are singing, their vocals do not always fall online. And if you want to be as close as possible to be on those lines, you have to really train hard. I'll demonstrate to you what it really means by playing something on the piano. C, D, E, F, G, Okay, so now you kind of hear and see that it's not really easy to sing on the absolutely accurate according to the tuning standard. Maybe you will see, oh, you're just a beginner singer, you haven't practiced that much, and you don't have that much talent anyway. But the thing is, even if you are top of the world, it's not that easy. And I will give you some clips that I recently see from the famous Chinese singer Zhou Shen. And he has been trained as a turner in the famous university from Ukraine. So he basically studied professionally to be a turner, singer, and he has been singing for professionally almost for the past 10 years. And in a recent interview, he is addressing this issue, like the things that he worried most is the expectation.
我是人，就是人，尤其现在 live， 尤其大家听现在的 CD 制品，它都是把音修到非常准的一些音像制品，人是不可能做到这样的。你还别说，我真的是跨越了这样一个可能前面的唱片时代或怎么样。作为这样一个跨越时代的听众，我其实现在在成为歌手，我其实不知道怎么去面对这个事情。就大家已经习惯了所有精确的音准、精确的节拍之后，大家怎么来看 live 演出？因为 live 演出它就是不可能做到100%音准、100%所有的东西。当然，大家可能会安慰你，这就是 live 的魅力。
对啊。瑕疵就是演唱会的一部分啊。
就是这个话，我觉得它很温暖，但是它并不会帮我去解决我的担心。我只能说一次次的好好去练，一次次真的是向自己的偶像去致敬，像邓丽君一样，就是他唱歌，他们那个年代是没有修音的，他也不是每个音都100%准的，但他就很生动。所以就是在我们这个时代的歌手，其实压力也挺大。
Anyway, so that said, I do still think the pitch correction can be used in several occasions. For instance, the first one is you use it for creativity, such as you just want your vocal to sound had a specific style that you want it to sound like accurate and cold and almost like a robot, a machine or something. There are a lot of artists doing that, so you basically use it as a fact, and everybody knows it's kind of like a fact. And I think that's not like a big issue. It's more like you use it as a tool for expression for the specific music that you're producing. The second reason is when you are collaborating with animals. I'll give you an example what it means. 1, 2, 3, go. Sing a little bit flat. Can you try it again? 1, 2, 3, go. It still sounds flat. Maybe we can do it better. DJ, can you turn on the rhythm? Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. I mean, you need to sing it a little bit sharper, like higher, such as sometimes alone. Okay, don't worry. I guess I gotta have to use the pitch correction, right? Yosh. Listen to that. What do you think? The third usage, I think it could be the usage is not used to sell music. For instance, recently I saw a little clip from the Mission Impossible movie trailer or promotion clips or something where Tom Cruise and his crew, they are singing the main theme and in a pretty perfect way. Like everybody was pretty accurate. They're singing just like that without instruments. But the main purpose is not really to showcase as a group that can really sing, but just for some fun. I think in this case, it's not really a big issue to use that. And the first usage, I think it could be used and the feedback for the singers. For instance, when a singer is recording a new song or something, they wanted to achieve some kind of good performance, then they can use the autotune or maybe the pitch correction version of their own vocal and guidance so they can hear what they could sound like, so they can do a new recording and record it better, but they are not using it as the final version. Otherwise, that basically is kind of like their vocal with computer programming, right? Maybe you can see it as computer assisted vocals. The fifth usage, I think for me, it's a little bit like a gray area. That is sometimes maybe you have like a deadline and you have done a lot of recordings and most of them are good, but maybe there are like just a few notes, like 2 or 3 notes that really needs to be corrected. Otherwise, it's kind of affecting the whole listening experience. And you really cannot have access to the recording session anymore. Then maybe you can correct a little bit. But again, like I said, this is a great area because once you started to do that, you're going to ask yourself, why shouldn't I correct more of it? Maybe I can just do more to make everything perfect and not just this particular note, this particular phrase. So I think maybe that's just like how everything started like that. Because once you started with one artist started to use that and another artist started to use that, and so everybody started to use that, because if you don't do it, you cannot compete anymore, because basically everybody is pitch perfect online. So in conclusion, whether I think it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Personally, I think this is a dishonest practice, because I know the pitch accuracy, it takes a lot of effort to achieve, and even a great singer cannot always sing online. And if you really do that, it's basically doesn't sound human anymore. So in a way, I think it's very bad that it has become an industry standard, because a lot of great singers, their humanness, their unique expression is not allowed to be heard anymore by the audiences. Many times the decisions are not up to them, but it's totally up to the I don't know, the executives and the market standard, because you need to care about whether you're able to sell the product, right? I personally do not like it, because I think music and art form should be reserved to humans, and humans should be allowed to express themselves freely. And I think use of this technology is the wrong way of try to achieve the perfection that does not belong to you. When I produce for myself, I do not care so much. But if I wanted to produce for, let's say, the audiences, or then I have to care about what they want to hear, then I would have to adhere to this kind of industry standard. So people don't regard me as a producer who cannot do the job professionally. Yeah, so it's a very difficult thing, and I think it's necessary to raise this topic, that we should all discuss about it. Please leave your comments and let me know what you think. Thank you for being here and listening to all of this. If you find it helpful, and I hope to see you later. Bye.